Hello, Beard Wizard family, the Warning Army. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links to which you can find in that video description below, including ways to support this channel. Clicking that red subscribe button is the biggest way. We've started to slow down, but I still think we can get to 5,000 by the end of the year, but I need your help. So if you're new here, you haven't subscribed yet, or you come back and you just haven't clicked that red button, please give it your consideration. It's free for you, and it would help me out a great deal to get me to the next step. My next goal as a content creator here on YouTube. I appreciate all of you who have already come to the show and support me and give your suggestions and all of that. Thank you so much. Streams are going to be a little late as usual. You're used to seeing me about an hour prior to when I'm streaming. Right now, I'm training at work, which means longer days at the office to train new people. So when that's over, I'll be back to my regularly scheduled streaming. But for now, streams are going to be between 4:35-ish through the week rather than the 3:30, 4 o'clock Central as usual. All right, so today it's the Warning Wednesday, and technically I reviewed all the songs from Chapter 3 of Queen of the Murder Scene. Only one of them recently. I had previously reviewed two of them before I started doing this, sort of looking at the vlog and then doing the reviews. So now we're going to do a reaction to the last vlog about Chapter 4 of Queen of the Murder Scene, and pause as necessary, talk about what I think or the thoughts that I have as we watch this. I have not watched this before. This is a reaction rather than a review, which I normally do. I don't know if I've reviewed all the songs in Chapter 4 yet. I may or may not have. And if I haven't, I'll go back and review those after this. Just like last time, this is a longer video of theirs, so it's possible that YouTube's algorithm will catch it and stop the stream partway through. So hopefully we get to the end. But if not, we will stop the stream and have a part 2 another day later this week if we have to stop it partway through or halfway through or whatever. But last time we got to the end, and it was a little bit longer than this one. This one's 21 minutes. The last one was 23 minutes. So we got right to the end before YouTube went, you got to stop. So hopefully we get to the end of this one. We will see. If you're here in the live stream, say hi. If you're watching the recording, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But this is vlog number 26. This is the Warning talking about Chapter 4 of Queen of the Murder Scenes. Let's take a look at what they have to say this time around. Welcome, whoever just joined.
Hey, everybody!
Hello, guys!
Hello! Welcome to the vlog of Chapter 4, which we didn't record that day. But, okay.
That's right, they said they were going to record it.
Which is the good thing. Okay, so Chapter 4 starts with P-S-Y-C-H-O-T-I-C.
Which is...
Have we done Psychotic?
Without the I-N. Okay, so the first song is P-S-Y-C-H-O-T-I-C. For sure, let's just say Psychotic.
Yeah.
It is basically like my favorite song lyric.
Chapter 4 is
of the
like...
album. Chapter 4 is my favorite album. My favorite chapter. Sorry.
Yes.
It's my favorite chapter, and that song specifically, the lyrics, it's so good. I remember I wrote the chorus about 2 years ago. I remember you were going out with
We
a
haven't
friend,
done that one.
and I was in the car, and I showed you and Mom that chorus, and you were like, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" And I was so excited about it, but I just left it there because it was just like when I was beginning to start like the concept, and so I just left it there. So basically, Psychotic is a mix of 3 different songs I had because the verse. Okay, the verses that I have for the original.
So interesting. I talk about this a lot of times when we watch these as a writer myself, and I actually just had somebody that I work with ask me about this today. If you ever write something and then set it aside and maybe get back to it later, and like she's talking about writing a chorus or writing parts of a song and setting them aside. The very first thing I officially published was a short story that I had written as a scene many years before. I just wrote a scene because it's all I had in my head and I didn't know where to go from there with it. And years later, I'm like, oh, I have an idea. So I took that scene and I wrote it. And that became the first thing I ever published. So that writers do that all the time. And it's one of the things that I found interesting doing these reactions because I had an idea songwriting was similar to narrative or story writing. But we're seeing more and more that their process while the medium is different, their process is so similar to how a novelist or a short story writer works as well. It's really cool to see that.
Yes.
Psychotic, they were horrible. They were literally absolutely horrifying.
But the melody was good.
The melody was good. We could
still use it.
But
A cat.
the lyrics were really bad. And I remember that I made
talked about
another
that
song
too.
with the same concept.
I talked about that too, having bad stories. I have a story that I wrote that I will probably, unless I completely rewrite it, will never see the light of day. And it's every creator has that. They have something that they would never put out in the way it is right now.
Link. No. I had another song like for the same concept that I did 2 years ago too, and 2 years ago too. Okay, and I just recorded on my phone, and I just left it there. So when I didn't have a verse for Psychotic, I started looking at my voice memos, which is like such a drag because I have like over 500 voice memos, and I don't know why I do this. It's really a horrible habit, but I never named the voice memos. It's like recording 200.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I always title my voice memos so that won't happen.
Yeah, so I had
that's
all my
rough.
voice memos without a name, so I was just like listening through every one, and then I found cause the blood that I bleed it is no longer red. It was in G though. And
Yeah, we changed
we
the
changed
tuning.
it was too high.
That's rough. Of the two of them, it sounds like Pow is more what we would call a pantser in writing lingo, and is who just kind of does stuff off the cuff, a little less organized, and just kind of goes with the flow and writes the way everything feels. And Danny, labeling her files, and she may not be as organized as that, but that's what we would call a planner, keeping track of everything. Or I'm very much a pantser when I write, and I can relate to not naming your files in a way that makes sense. And that's such a horrible thing that when you have to go back through stuff that you wrote and try to find what you were looking for if you weren't organized to begin with. I could totally relate to that. That is so rough.
And I found cause the blood that I bleed it is no longer red. It was in G though. And
Yeah, we changed
we
the
changed
tuning.
it was too high. And
Welcome.
and it just fit perfectly. I had all the first verse done already, and then when I found like that voice memo, I just started working on the second verse immediately. The second verse is my favorite verse. My favorite line of the whole song is the "Be proud of your pride and the things that you hide." Oh, that is be
Oh
proud.
wow, that sounds really
I'm so
good.
proud of that. It's yes. Even I have to say it's really good. I just really like the whole song lyrically.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it's super fun to play.
It's one of the funnest songs to play.
Although it's one of the most tiring ones.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
at least for me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the PSYCHOTICs are awful because like she does the low notes, but I do like
I
PS
do
live,
PSY.
and it's really like hard to
Oh,
do live.
yes.
With like when we did Lunario, like it was one of the last songs, and I was like dying.
Me too.
And that
I was-
part was like, oh, especially, since the song is very lyrically packed, you don't have time
Yes.
to breathe. The only time you
No
have like
time
to
to
rest, as like during the PSYCHOTICs,
And the
but
bridge.
well, only the first two ones, and then the bridge. And fun fact about the song.
Welcome,
you
whoever joined.
See that in the beginning, there's like a laugh.
Oh yes.
It's my laugh.
But that's like
That's
her
like
genuine,
my genuine laugh.
Like,
When somebody makes me laugh, like really, when I'm laughing, that's my laugh.
that-
I remember
she
we
laughs
were
like
recording the PSY. Yeah,
okay.
I said it correct.
For the demos.
For the demo, okay? And I remember that it was just we were like laughing all the time. It was really hard to keep a straight face because we were trying to do it like as if we were children or something, like cheerleaders or something. And it was just really, really funny. And I remember that at the end of a take,
That's creepy though. Children
I just
singing.
laughed really,
It's very creepy.
loudly, and we had that recorded, and we're like, Jake, put that on.
Yeah, Jay, we said you have to keep that, and he just kind of modified it so it would go in the beginning, and it sounded so good.
And
At the end, we got used to it, so
We
it's
just left it there.
it has to go there.
Oh, I
And-
think
PSYC. I think Psychotic has a lot of like our Japanese rock influences, especially in the
Okay.
in the bridge.
Making some notes
I
here.
remember that in one song, Japanese rock song, I heard like it was like I don't know if it was. I think it was the beginning, and it starts like with like a riff, let's say, with the like vocals, and it's just like
Yeah, it has like a vocal main part instead of the instrument.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not saying anything. And I really wanted to do. It's just like a very big atmosphere, and I wanted to do something like that. And so we started working on that, and I just extremely loved it. It was really, it's really
Very
fun.
cool.
But
We'll check
in
that out.
live, when you play it live, it's really hard to do because I'm doing like the 16 notes on the. What's
The
it
snare.
called? Yeah, the snare. Thank you. I'm doing the 16 notes on the snare, and I'm just like, okay, keep breathing. That song is very tiring because the verses are really fast.
I'm looking forward to
doing
that
eight
song
notes, but
to re-review
the
that.
like the tempo of the song is really quickly. Oh, we
Yes.
changed tempos on that song.
Yeah, actually,
pre-chorus,
the pre-chorus is it
lowers-
goes down.
Yeah, the tempo goes a little bit down.
It's not very noticeable, but it's true.
But
it's
it,
there.
like you feel the difference because when we were making the demos, it felt really bad if we left it at the same tempo. That's why I remember when we were recording, like from the the transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus, I do a build-up, and I struggled a lot, like just to keep
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
because it
Because
changed.
you like you could feel the
That's
change.
why I always
Yeah. I mean,
right.
it was just uncomfortable.
Yep.
It was but we got used to it now, and it's one of the funnest songs to play. Oh,
Yeah.
we're also going to remove the hey.
Of the chorus, yes.
Yeah, of the chorus, and
We didn't like it that much at first, but then we took it out and it's like
we found
We
ourselves
kept-
singing it,
yeah.
even
Yeah.
if even though it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and one of the
Welcome,
most,
whoever just joined.
the things I like most about this song is the bass line. It's just like
Oh yeah, the bass lines were really fun to make. The bass line of
The verses.
the verses, it was a line that I had
in the
on
piano.
So when I was like showing it to Ale, it was it's really funny now, but at that time it was just like
Frustrating.
Frustrating.
Like, we had nothing in the song, like,
But,
with the bass line.
bass
She was just like learning it. I was like, okay.
So it was fa 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 fa.
Even though it's not that anymore.
Oh yeah, we
Timing.
changed the.
Is it called accents?
The timing,
No, yeah,
No,
I
the
think
thing
it's the
is, the
accents,
line
yeah.
is it's pretty weird.
It's weird.
But once you get used to it,
It's
like,
it's like not on the downbeat. It's like an up. I don't know if it's called the
Syncopado.
upbeat. And, no, it's not. It's
No,
not
no,
the
no, no,
syncopado.
syncopado.
It's just in the
and
E of
Yeah,
like the
and the
uno
and of
E.
the-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
and.
yeah.
There we go. We know
we
the
said
tense-
this last.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's fine. So
But yes, that's well, and story wise, like, Psychotic is just, our main
She's
character
just, like,
is
mocking.
crazy, and she accepts it, and she's just like
she's like
mocking,
mocking
everyone.
everybody that's like trying to
Gotcha.
capture her. I guess.
It's like,
So it's the transition from Sinister Smiles when the voice is taken over, and just saying "Let me have this." Then we go into Dull Knives and Queen of the Murder Scene, and then she's full on into Psychotic with this. So I'm looking forward to reviewing that because we've done, Sinister Smiles and Dull Knives and Queen of the Murder Scene. Welcome, James. Good afternoon. How are you? Always good to see you, sir. So yeah, looking forward to reviewing this for sure. I love the back and forth. I've always liked that in these vlogs about their writing process and showing how they play off each other, because clearly they're all contributing to this in different ways of creating the music and the lyrics and taking pieces and parts of each other's stuff and putting those things together. It is very much a collaborative writing project, and that's something that I have little experience with. I've sort of collaborated on a writing project recently, and I will be working on a more definite collaborative project coming up. And it'll be interesting to see, because myself and the other writer are two completely different writing personalities when it comes to our process and structure. So it'll be interesting to see how that works for us, but it clearly works for them, and that is very much how writers do it, and that's really neat.
Yeah, that's basically it. And
Yes.
moving on, the next song is it's Hunter.
Hunter.
Hunter's one of my
Backend.
favorite songs. Bam,
I think we've done that one.
bam.
Okay.
Hunter was
I think so.
really different to write, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it started from like a jam session, We were
Started
trying.
with that riff, right?
We did,
Yeah.
yes. We did Hunter.
Yeah, we were doing it. I remember.
I had that riff.
And then I did
That was a nice guitar
Actually,
riff.
no, I had that riff, and I started to do a whole other song. I had more parts of that, but you kind of like took it all out and left that part.
I
And
remember
then,
that.
yes, I had no lyrics, but I had melody.
Yeah, and I
remember.
remember that I wasn't a big fan of it. So.
Oh,
and,
wow.
We started like, working on the song together, the three of us. But we had to do the song like very quickly because we had to make demos of them very quickly because Jake was about to leave, and we really needed to record the demos. Okay, so it was like a day before Jake came, and we were just like working on the song. And I remember you were on the guitar, I was on the piano, and the chorus came out, and it was the first time ever in history of Paulina Villarreal that I had ever modulated a chorus. Is that how you say modulated?
I think so. It's
Like
a
change
modulation
the
of
key?
harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, I changed. Yeah, it's just change of key, right? Yeah. So that song was the first song I've ever in my life
Change the
changed
key in the middle.
in the middle
the
of
same
the song.
song, yeah.
in the same song, exactly. And it was just so exciting that I had done something differently, and the chorus was really cool. And so we had like the pre-chorus and the chorus ready. Well, kind of. The chorus wasn't finished lyrically. But so Jake came the next day, and we were like working on the song, and we didn't have one single verse. We didn't have melodies. We didn't have lyrics.
We had
And we were
nothing.
basically just building the parts as we went. And I remember that I had like the part of the drums, which is very simple, honestly. So I just had that. It was like the bass, the basse. I don't know if that makes sense in English.
Yeah,
The bass, basse. Oh, okay. So basically, you have the bass and
The foundation,
well, they were
yeah.
working on bass guitar and guitar lines, I guess.
That makes
and,
sense,
I
yeah.
was just giving like the basse. There has to be another word in English.
Foundation.
After, like
Yeah, it's just like the
the
layout.
The layout.
the bass, the basse. Okay,
The
so I was
base
just
structure of the
I was just
song.
giving like the structure. Okay, it was just and I knew that we had to make it like something quick, just so we could record the song and that's it. We could have changed it, like we could change it later. So and I was like, na 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 na. And I was like, okay, wait a second, let me record this. And it was just like the first lyric that came to mind. I just wrote it down very quickly on my phone, recorded it, and that was
Boom!
that. And then we started
We had a
recording,
verse.
and yeah, the whole verse, like the two parts of the first verse,
Excuse me.
it was just like really
We did it
quickly.
like that, and we left it like that. Like we really liked it.
Yeah, it was. It
We
just
worked
seemed like that.
really quickly. Oh well, but the second
but
verse.
the second verse was like
Welcome,
real
whoever
fast.
just joined.
We did it.
Thank you for
the same
being
day
here.
Because Jake was
Jake,
leaving.
Jake was about to leave for a really long time. I remember that. So we were in a like very big hurry. So we were working on Hunter, and we had. I had already finished the first verse, but we needed a second verse, right?
And I remember Danny was busy like recording.
You were recording vocals, and
yes.
in between, you came like to
to
the
work
other
on the
room,
lyrics.
and we were like working on the lyrics, and we were just like literally lying on the floor screaming at each other because we couldn't. It was really funny.
Yeah, we were
It
just
was
like-
not like angry screams, but it was just like
Desperate
no
screaming,
sale
like,
nada kind of
yeah.
screams. So we were just
Yeah,
like
it's very
extremely
descriptive.
desesperados. How do you say? It's not desperate.
No, it's
We were frustrated.
Frustrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're
like in a funny way.
Yeah. It was still very
Weird.
comical. I don't know
Yeah.
why we found it funny because now that I look at it, we were really suffering. We're like, why can't we get anything out?
Yes.
So
That's-
and we did it. Yeah, in the end, like we.
It's such a creative similarity with trying to write, trying to get out certain things, and not understanding why you can't create. You can see the scene in your head, or you can hear the song you want to produce, or you can see or hear or feel the poem that you want to write, but you just can't seem to find a way to express it. And some people call it writer's block. I don't think that's really what it is, but it's something that I think we all share when you work in the creative process of just not being able to, express what you see in your head and what you feel, and finding the words for that sometimes is a challenge. And I can totally understand how that would create a frustration, how that would create a sort of conflict between them when they're all frustrated with their inability to sort of get out what they want to get out. Yeah, that would be tough in a group of people trying to. I imagine a writer's room, when they're trying to tackle a difficult scene, and that becoming frustrating as everybody is trying to give their feedback on a way to solve a problem or something.
Only took like
In
it
the
was
end,
we did it like 5-10 minutes, just like really intensely, just working on that, and then that's how it stayed.
Yes.
The whole song was just like we like what you listen to now is basically all that we had in the demo. Literally, now that
Yes.
when I listen to the demo, of course it's very different, like sound wise,
Yeah.
but the parts are all the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
guys, we
kinda
went to
stuck
the
to that.
studio like really prepared with our demos.
Yeah.
So Hunter was one of the ones that we stayed extremely true to.
Wait. Talk about your snare drum. That was liked.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys remember in the live chats, somebody said something about like the snare in the Sinister's Mouse. So, and I remember that I don't know if you guys remember, but I said that my favorite snare drum of the whole album was on a song that wasn't released yet. Well, that song is Hunter. Okay, I just love. It was it was like 18-inch snare. It was huge.
Huge.
I mean,
It
I
didn't
could
even
barely
feet.
it barely even fit.
Fit in her legs.
Yeah, I
It's just
couldn't
her
like
legs.
I didn't fit in the drum set.
Sorry.
So I was just and it had like a really deep sound. And I remember that in parts you see in the pre-chorus I do like an army roll kind of thing. It's not really an army roll, but it's just like it's basically a rudiment. So I wanted like a higher sound for that part because over like in the center of the snare drum it just sounded like really loose, I guess. I wanted it to sound like tighter. So I just went like to like the outer kind of like layer, like the outer rim, I guess. I don't know how it's called in
the
English.
snare drum,
It was just like in the very like end of the snare drum, which
Just
usually
not in the center.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
usually in normal snares it sounds like really pitchy and really but in that one it sounded like a normal snare. So it was really fun, and in the
Interesting.
pre-chorus I just started going lower. So like while I did
I agree,
crescendo,
James.
so you got like that, I don't know, dynamic. It sounded really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but story wise, this
I agree. James said that nothing harder than keeping a band together. Great minds here. And I talked about that on a previous stream, in a stream when I was looking at Liliac, when we were talking about that band. Whenever you have, family bands used to be very common in the 50s and 60s and even before that. And they sort of fell out of fashion. They sort of became less common. But, I mean, you look at even not too long ago with, who were the British brothers who did Cannonball? Their name flew right out of my head. But, they got into fighting each other. And, that band broke up for a while. And then we've got The Warning, we've got Liliac, we've got a few other bands where they're family bands, and not only do you have the challenge of family drama that comes with families working together, which is definitely a thing, but then band drama, just normal band drama, bands working together, even bands that have been around for decades go through struggles where they have fights or they have challenges with each other. People quit, people leave. I mean, look at Fleetwood Mac, for example. They broke up, they got back together. Some band members cheated on other band members with other band, so when you've got the family sort of dynamic that can already cause some stress sometimes for being around each other all the time, and then you've got the band dynamic that can cause stress for being around each other all the time, and you put those together, I hope, and they seem to get along very well. They seem to work together very well. There may always be that possibility. 1 second. Yeah?
Sorry, Clay's called twice.
Oh, shit. Okay. Can you bring me my phone?
He's on now.
Sorry, Al. Hello? Sorry, boys and girls. Yeah, I'm a manager at a support tech department, and oh yeah, I missed the call. One of my guys called and needed my help. Julie, thank you. Ed, Julie sees that. Everybody, thank you. Oregon, thanks for stopping in. Ray Fan, greetings from State 48, Arizona. Welcome. I used to live in Phoenix, so welcome. I appreciate everybody being here, and let's get back to it.
Going lower, so like while I did the crescendo, so you got like the I don't know dynamic. It sounded really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but story-wise, this
Oh, yeah,
song
guys.
is actually really interesting.
Yes, it's one of the few things that I think you haven't guessed yet.
Yeah, it's the only thing
Yes.
that you haven't figured out. It's
Okay, so wait. The picture of not the picture, the
the
sketch, the
Ripley
artwork
came
of
in.
that song. You see, it's a Grim Reaper.
Hi, sweetie.
So it is a Grim Reaper talking in this song. Like
It's basically the Grim Reaper.
we introduce a new character that's the Grim Reaper that's coming to tell
Hi,
our
sweetie.
queen of the murder scene to stop doing its job
Like back on.
and like
Oh, to
yes,
stop doing
stop doing that
Death's
because
job.
That's my thing. And
You know.
I'm
I
gonna
like
get
that.
you for it.
And basically at the end of the song,
You want to say hi? Come over
the
here.
Grim Reaper does get
Come here.
Her.
hurt.
Yes.
Come here, Ripley.
So yeah, every lyric in this song is from the point of view of
the
the
Grim
dead.
Reaper. So that's why in the
Interesting.
end, Queen of the Murder Scene is dying because
Yes.
the Grim Reaper killed her. So the
We
end
don't
is-
know how. We don't know.
I mean,
what,
that's yeah. I mean, everybody
is
has
dying.
yeah. Everybody has their own version, but basically, the Grim Reaper killed her, and so the end is basically that song where she's dying. She's just like
Oh, wow.
dying in that song.
those are like her last words,
Words,
her last
basically.
breaths of
Yeah.
life.
And that that song is actually I really like the song. It started on the piano.
Wait, did they jump to
I
a new
basically
song?
have This whole song on the piano.
Did they jump to a new song?
Just like,
And I
on the
missed it?
piano.
Yes. We
So-
didn't want to change that actually. It was gonna be just like piano
just
and
gonna
vocals.
be-
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
did many versions which were awful.
and
the instruments?
No, it was really
They were-
bad.
we
Like,
did like 4 versions of it, and they were
Is
all,
this
like,
the end?
awful. And in Soga, when we were recording the song, it was that one song that we actually came up with most of it. And
Yes.
when the bass and the guitar were gonna enter and everything, like it was that one song that we actually
Okay.
had no idea what we were gonna do.
Thanks, Oregon.
yeah, I mean, we had all the parts figured out already, but not like how to incorporate them correct.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love the solo of that song. It's
That
like-
solo is very good. And I sang that song. I guess you all got you noticed
Yes.
when we were playing it in the Lunario. And it's basically just the final words of the Queen of the Murder Scene, saying that she doesn't regret.
I don't
what
think
she
we've
did.
reviewed that
She's
one.
crazy.
Nice.
But that she wishes
Good.
that she didn't have to
live
carry
with it.
all of that
Yeah.
while she's saying like she doesn't want it anymore.
It's because in the end, she doesn't regret anything because in her mind, everything she did was still because of love, for love. So yeah, she's just twisted up inside.
Yeah, little twisted.
That was the whole point. So
Little twisted.
basically, that's why I sing the end. The end.
The end.
Dust to dust.
Oh yeah, dust to
Okay,
dust.
basically dust to dust. Nobody figured
Wasn't
this out,
Dust to Dust
but
the
I
first
don't know
one?
if they did. But dust to dust, basically, like the prologue, is.
Okay, yeah.
It's Queen of the Murder Scene already dead.
Yes.
That's why I sing it. You know that in the last song, I
Oh.
die.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
I
actually,
die with my voice.
Actually, we kind of did this unintentionally, but
We figured
the
that
last
was a twist.
yes, the last phrase of the end we end
Did we
with
do Dust to
start
Dust?
again. Like we're just saying start again over and over and over again. So like we're kind of
Oh, wow, that's-
telling you
That's clever.
to start listening.
That's clever because not just a play on, like she's saying, start the album over again and listen again, but there's a lot of story arc, sort of I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, story arc method or story writing method that talks about cyclical events. A great example that I can think of off the top of my head is if you ever watched the remake of Battlestar Galactica, and there's this phrase that they use all the time that what has happened will happen again. And there's a lot of storytelling technique in making things cyclical. Star Wars is kind of like that events repeat, themes repeat, everything is cyclical, and it's supposed to represent the unchanging or how difficult it is for us to change our behavior, and we repeat the mistakes that we make, and human beings as a whole repeat the mistakes that we make in the past and over time. And so for them to talk about that in their story and how it just kind of starts back over at the beginning is a common storytelling technique that it's interesting they chose to use for this, because it would show that the Queen of the Murder Scene, while there's one character in this story, there's just going to be another one, because this cycle is going to start over and over and over again and sort of keep going. And that's really cool that they did that. I like that.
And like we're just saying start again over and over and over again. So like we're
creates
kind
like a
of
cycle.
unconsciously telling you to start listening again from the beginning, like start again the album. Like the album is a cycle. She dies,
And then
Dusty
April
does.
starts because it's the
She's dead,
she's dead.
and she's telling
And
you.
like, yeah, and she like basically she's just welcoming you to her story. And in the end, everything just turns back into dust.
Yeah.
You see, that was completely unintentional, but it fits
And
perfectly.
we were like, huh, well,
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes happy coincidence like that happens.
Yeah.
It's just like really cool.
Yes.
That's so true with writing is there's so many times where I've been looking at a story and I wrote something that I didn't even really give a lot of thought to, and then when I go back and read it again, I'm like, wow, that meant something that I didn't intend it to mean, as I was writing the rest of the story. I always love catching those parts, because when I talk about writing, or other writers will talk about writing, is sometimes the characters or the story surprises us, and people will say, well, how is that you're writing it, how can you be surprised? And it's because of those moments where we unintentionally write something that it means something different later down the road, or it means something more important as the story progresses, and we didn't mean it to come out that way, but that's how it comes out eventually. And it surprises us, and I love that happens here too.
You see, that was completely unintentional, but it fits
and
perfectly.
we were like, huh, well,
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes happy coincidence like that happen, and it's just like really cool.
Yes.
And that's why, I mean, Danny,
I'm gonna close
like
the
you
door.
see in the end of Dusty Dust and the
Yeah, my shouting.
I
Sorry.
can't reach those.
Yeah, you were.
So,
you were
but I mean, it's really cool because I mean, it's basically the introduction of like Queen of the Murder Scene in the beginning, which Danny starts. So it's like basically like, hey, this is the beginning of
Of
the
my
actual story, and boom, the beginning of the beginning, which is Crimson Queen. It's really cool. I really like
Yes.
that. And yeah,
We're super happy with how our album came out.
yeah, we're really happy, and we're really happy that
And
you
you
guys
guys
welcome it with open arms. We know it's not an easy story too.
Yes. Yes.
It's a great story.
I think we said
It's
it
a
in the
great
last
story.
vlog, or I don't know that.
I think it's
That yeah, we knew it was a
a little bit controversial. I mean, we're
yes
talking about a
different.
but we really liked it, and we.
I doubt they're listening, but if any other writers are listening, and maybe if they're listening, our job as storytellers, whether it be through song or poetry or narrative story or novels or short story, whatever it is, our job as storytellers are to tell the difficult stories. People get offended by, or they get uncomfortable with, or they get upset with what people choose to put in their stories. And a good storyteller addresses the dark or the sinister or the uncomfortable, because it's our job to remind people that that's what those things are. It's our job to remind people that bad things happen, that dark people exist, that horrible there's horrible trends in history. It's our job to remind people of those things, because when you forget those things exist, when you forget there's a possibility for a person to be evil or to do evil things, then you become complacent, and it allows those people to hurt more people. You know, it would be wonderful if we could go through life thinking that everything's going to be butterflies and rainbows, but also that's not a very interesting story. And it's also not a good service to other people, you know, because the world's not all butterflies and rainbows. And if your stories are all Disney fairy tales with a happy ending, you're giving people a false sense of the world. And so never apologize for writing a story that's dark or a story that is uncomfortable. That's your job. And I'm not saying they're apologizing, and I'm not criticizing them for what they're saying here. It's a normal thing for an author, a creator, to feel a sense of guilt for doing those things. But it is our job. It's what we do. And so I understand that they feel like they need to say, you know, I know this is controversial. I know this is dark. I know it's... But that is quite literally what we're supposed to do. And if people are bothered by those things, if people only want to read children's books and Disney stories, that's fine. They can read those things. But don't expect to step into the world of adult literature, adult music, adult poetry, and get Snow White. Because that's not reality. And it's our job to remind people of what reality is. So they definitely should be proud of what they've created. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure they absolutely are. This is not a criticism of what they're saying here. It's just a reminder to other creators that what they're feeling is normal. And you don't have to apologize for that. But what they're feeling is completely normal. You write bad things and you feel bad because you wrote bad things, but it's your job to write bad things because bad things happen, and it's our job to shine a light on those bad things.
We know that we're just telling a story. We're not really encouraging anybody to do this type of stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Just
we're
telling
really
a
glad
story.
that you guys liked it.
Yes.
And we're kind of, it's bittersweet. This is our last vlog
Of the
of like
chapters.
of like the
We ran
album.
out of music to
Yeah.
explain.
But I guess that we'll keep you guys updated with what's to come.
Yeah. Actually, I've heard. No, I saw a little bit of your comments that you want to blog on the booklet and the art and how that all came to be. And I think we can do that. We can do that in another blog.
There's another
Yeah,
one?
So we'll
Good
see
idea,
that
guys.
later. And
Yes.
we'll keep you updated with
Interesting.
More
Lo que
stuff.
viene.
Yes, we're actually preparing to go to Mexico City again for the
Like-
Hard Ink.
It's like this Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's on Thursday. So yeah, we're about to leave again and play more shows, so we're really excited about that. But yes, guys, we'll keep you updated, and it's also a new month, so
Oh, yeah,
monthly
it's
video chats.
It's December.
Yes,
So-
happy December, guys.
It feel like
So
happy holidays to everybody out there because it's
Yeah.
December now. And
So
yeah,
yeah,
guys, we'll keep you updated.
We'll
and
tell
I,
you when the date of that will be.
yeah, guys. So
Very nice.
I think this is the end of the vlog. So thank you so much, guys.
This is the end. Goodbye.
So long, my friend.
Hey, Ale, you're supposed to be doing this.
this.
Ale. Okay, no.
Bye,
Never mind.
guys.
Bye.
That was really great. I love to see the process through other eyes, through people who do it through a different medium. That's always cool. We're gonna kill this for a second so you can see Ripley laying half in her bed like a toddler. Anyway, really cool video. I love that. I love to see their process, and I love to see how they talk about writing. Even when it comes to music, that it's so similar to storytelling through what I do, through writing or through narrative writing or through writing novels. So coming up, we'll have reviews of Psychotic. In the end, we've already reviewed Hunter. So we'll do the ones we haven't done yet. and then hopefully they release some new stuff. Oregon said, I haven't seen that vlog. Don't know if they didn't do it or if it was still Patreon only. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they didn't do it. That happens. I know sometimes I announce videos and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and I never get around to it. I have so many ideas that sometimes things just don't happen. So that's possible too. We'll see. But we will definitely be reviewing Psychotic in the End coming up soon. Oregon, Julie, James, Ed, Ray Fan, I think I got everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I will see you guys all again soon. You have a great one. Much love. Bye.